Good morning everyone and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex and this is your Friday morning paper talk. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's enjoying what, if you're in the UK, the little bits of sunshine there is around the UK. Hopefully you're all looking forward to football coming back. That is more and more likely going to come back in the next couple of weeks. But let's get going started with. Make sure you're getting your questions into the comments. I will try and answer them throughout the video. But the first one, as you can see there, is this news that came out of The Athletic last night, and this is from Laurie Whitwell did a Q&A session, and this is saying that the Jack Grealish move depends on Paul Pogba. And this is kind of something that we've been talking about on Stretford Paddock for a while now. This is kind of the notion that Paul Pogba is, if he leaves, then we're going to be looking at a replacement. Otherwise, that's not going to be the case. It also mentioned in the Q&A session that Aston Villa probably value him at around £85 million, which is a lot of money. You know, it's a lot of money for Jack Grealish. And, you know, the problem with that is we're probably going to need to sell Paul Pogba in order to not just fund that, but also find the place in the squad for Jack Grealish. So what do you think to that? Do you think that we need Jack Grealish whether we keep Paul Pogba or not? Do you think that we need to keep them both? Do you think that Jack Grealish is the replacement for Paul Pogba? Do you think that's the right one to do if Paul Pogba is leaving? I think this is all is up in the air because of obviously the coronavirus. I think the fact of Aston Villa maybe getting relegated or maybe staying up, I think that would have potentially done something. But again, they might be in the position where they kind of finish in that bottom three but don't get relegated if the rumours are true. So there's a couple of different things. There's a couple of different things affecting whether Aston Villa and the asking price compared to that. And then the Paul Pogba thing. I think that last summer was kind of the summer. I think last summer was the one for Paul Pogba in terms of Madrid. I think they were in the spending mode at that point. Whereas at this moment in time, you're not too sure what they're going to do. Especially with the shortened transfer window that's looking like, will Paul Pogba get moved on? So again, that's the question. And the other question is, Oliver's put in the comments there, I'd rather have Grealish than Pogba. You know, does Grealish fit this new system better than Paul Pogba? Do you know, is he maybe a bit more of a worker in terms of the number 10 role? Is he more flexible to go out wide and things like that? Who knows? I'm unsure of this one. I think that, you know, Paul Pogba is a fantastic footballer, but maybe the time has been to move on, and maybe we see maybe a younger, better player, not a better player because definitely not a better player, a younger player coming in, someone that's going to be a bit hungrier, someone that's going to maybe fit this system a little bit better. Maybe that's the time to move on. But I'll go over that again. So for the people just joining us now, this was from Laurie Whitwell in the Athletics Q&A yesterday, saying that the Jack Grealish deal that's potentially happening is all dependent on whether we shift Paul Pogba. So that's it kind of up in the air. So I doubt to see both of those players together in the same team next season. I don't expect us to have Grealish and Pogba. So we'll see how that goes in the coming weeks. Let's see what happens. Let's have a quick look at the comments on that one. Pogba is another level but isn't world class, and with Pogba staying, I'd stay away from Grealish. I agree with that one. I think that, like I said, I don't think both of them. I don't see both of them. There's the next one. Let's have a look at Ross Moore. Is Zaha worth that money because he's that good? I mean, clubs in Grealish isn't so. Hang on. Clubs in Europe, Grealish isn't. So how is he worth 85 million? The English tax kind of thing on things. You know, that's how it kind of is. The one that you're moving in the Premier League. The fact that maybe Aston Villa are going to have a bit more bargaining power. You know, they may have more chance of staying up. There's all these different things. But, you know, that's the question. Let's have a quick look. I'd rather keep Paul Pogba than spend 85 on Grealish. I agree. I agree I'd like to keep Paul Pogba. But it's looking more and more likely that Pogba will leave. I don't see Pogba staying for the next 10 years. Definitely not. I don't see him finishing his career at Manchester United. Whereas Jack Grealish is maybe a longer term thing. So this is the thing they've got to try and work out. What's the best thing for Manchester United right now? And, you know, everyone said that the players that Liverpool brought in to replace Coutinho were never going to be in the levels of Coutinho. But look what they've gone on to do. It's a horrible thing to compare to them at the minute. But, you know, that's the reality of it, of how they went about it, and how I see this position being is that maybe we do need to cash in on Paul Pogba. Maybe we need to just take the hit on it, and maybe you get a couple of players for that. Maybe Jack Grealish is that personality, is that, who knows? It's who knows how that's going to go. But I don't see them both in the same team, and by the looks of it from The Athletic, I don't think anyone else does. So we'll see. I will buy Bellingham right now. I agree. 16-year-old talent, be great, but who knows how that's going to go. Let's have a look at our next topic today. We're going to move on to a little bit on Mr. Jadon Sancho. And this is from the Telegraph, saying Dortmund are willing to wait for a better time to sell him, because the report says that wages and transfer values will be down 50% in this transfer window due to the coronavirus and all things like that. So with that being said, with Jadon Sancho, maybe Dortmund are willing to wait until the market picks back up a little bit and they can get a better value on Jadon Sancho, which is understandable. I think this has been in the pipeline for a bit longer, so I don't think this one's going to be as affected by as maybe some of the other deals are. I think we've had a very good start on this one, so I still think this one goes through. I'm still hopeful this one goes through because it'd be a quality signing. Be a quality signing for Jadon Sancho, obviously. But with all this going on, we just had a chat this morning about when the Premier League's going to start, how long it's going to take to play, and we're doing a bit of looking at the months, and say if it takes 5 or 6 weeks and stuff, you're looking at July, then the European competitions. Probably going to have 2 weeks between the end of the European season and the start of the Premier League next season. So there's only going to be a couple of weeks to finalise all these things, and with how far United go in things, obviously Dortmund are out of the Champions League now, but they're still going to be doing things like that, playing in the Bundesliga. Who knows how long all this stuff's going to take? It may take a long time to negotiate these things, and like you said, the coronavirus. Whilst we may have this, maybe Dortmund don't have that replacement that they would have had in a longer transfer window. So who knows? Who knows how this coronavirus is going to affect transfers in the long run? Hopefully it doesn't affect Manchester United too much. Hopefully it kind of works in our favour and we keep players. I think Dortmund are going to accept a lower price. Again, not 100% sure. Who knows about that? By the looks of these reports now, they're going to maybe hold out for a bit more. What else have we got? But are United willing to wait for another season? I don't think they are. I think we need someone on the right hand side as soon as possible. I don't think we can wait another season, whether that is for Jadon Sancho. I think we need to get Jadon Sancho in as soon as possible. Any more questions, guys, get them in. I'll try and get them answered. Obviously, I think I'm having a bit of a lagging issue with a couple of things this morning, but I'll keep going. So let's have a look. We've got Sancho, Bellingham, Igalo, get Pogba to extend and be more than happy with that. Signing them wouldn't prevent Garner coming through. Thinks he needs a season on loan. Yeah, we talked about this. We had Dave Pritt on the podcast this week. Have a quick look back at that. We looked at the loan players going out. Potentially Garner, potentially Levitt, potentially Laird and Galbraith. 3 players that have been touted very highly and doing very well in the youth team. Do they need a loan? I think they do. But like I also said in the debate, I think that if these players are good enough, they need to stay and compete for the spot. If they're good enough and show it in training, I think they'll make their way into the first team. And I don't think they should worry about that too much. Obviously, let's keep going. Let's have a look. How can Grealish deal be reliant on Pogba, where we have a pure crap like Lingard and Pereira? I think a lot of it is I don't think Ollie sees them as starters in the squad. Obviously, I think Pogba is a starter. I think Lingard and Pereira got the chance this season to kind of show what they could do, and were kind of the best thing they could have done this just because of the restraints they had this summer, obviously signing players. I think that they had those 2 players in just to fit a position, not too much more than that. Whereas Pogba is the starter for Manchester United, and I don't think they see Grealish as someone that's going to come and sit on the bench the entire time. I don't think they see those 2 in the squad. I think they're squad players. I don't think he sees Jack Grealish sitting on the bench all year. So I think that's the argument with all that. We'll see how that does. Any news on Angel Gomez? Not really. Obviously nothing coming out at the minute, but I'd expect that to be done in the next couple of weeks. I'd definitely expect that to be done in the next couple of weeks. They wouldn't start at Burnley, let alone us. I agree. So they're not going to be starters for us next season, and you've seen since Bruno came in and we had McTominay and Fred, and they haven't been getting a sniff. I do like. I think Lingard can definitely do a job, and I definitely would like to keep if Lingard knuckles down and stuff. I think he definitely does a job in the big games. He's done a big job in the big games this season. I'd like to see him stick around for a bit longer. I still think he does a job and a role. I think there's a lot of criticism. But let's see how Jesse Lingard does next season, where he ends up. Let's have a look. I feel these youth players need to build physicality by going out on loan and then push for a spot in the first team. I definitely think there's a thing to say about that. The only problem with those, they are players that are technical players. So going to the Championship, they may not show that. They may not be able to get to show that, and they may not get the opportunity to show that. Instead of being out of Manchester United's team because of their physicality, they may be out of a lower down team because they're going to get bullied in midfield. So that's the risk you kind of have to take in terms of that. So who really knows on that point? Villa don't want Lingard and Pereira. You're right. Let's see. New keeper, don't think so. I think that Dean Henderson's potentially there, but I don't think there'll be anyone else. Let's have a look. Last comment. We could sweeten the deal with Sancho by loaning 3 to 4 great U-team players to Dortmund. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to... I think Dortmund are going to want a lot of money. I don't think they're going to look for that. Obviously, there was the pathetic report that they were going to try and get Mason Greenwood, which wasn't going to happen. But I don't think they would be looking at midfielders from us, which is obviously what they'd do. Okay, that's going to be enough for me today. Make sure you're checking out. We've got, of course, 10 o'clock tonight, Late Night Live, Mr. Joe Smith. Who knows what's going to happen? I'll be tuning in because, like I said, I'm as much in the dark about what Joe Smith does on Late Night Live as you guys are going on. So I'll be tuning in at 10 o'clock. We'll have Howson's transfer review this weekend. Obviously, over on Mr. Howson's channel, we will have the rundown where you'll see me and the rest of the Paddock lads. Make sure you check out the merchandise. The first merchandise box is on its way. We are finalising all that stuff for you guys. So make sure you check out that. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And of course, I will see you next time. See you later.